I want to pay, to start, huge tributes to Counting Dead Women and to the femicide census. The first year I read the list of killed women, women who had been killed by men, none of the women's names sparked a moment of recognition for anyone other than their bereaved loved ones. This year, there will be names on this list we have all heard of. Women who, following their brutal killings, have become household names. Were it not for the arduous work over a decade of Karen Ingala Smith and latterly her work with the femicide census to painfully keep this list and to fight every day for killed women to be an issue of major public concern, working alongside brilliant and crusading bereaved families, moms, dads, brothers, sisters, daughters and sons. This year, the names would be equally anonymous. These amazing campaigners have made sure that killed women are no longer just a name recorded in a local newspaper. They have made sure the issue of femicide and all the failings that lead to an increased risk are a national priority for the people of Britain. Reading this list is the honour of my life. Today we are joined by families whose loved ones' names appear on this list or who have been on previous lists. Bearing witness to them matters. So here is the list from Counting Dead Women and the femicide census of women killed where the primary suspect or known killer is a man since this time last year. Sabita Thanwani, Yasmin Begum, Shatira Bibi, Sherry Bruce, Helen Laurie, Emma Bailey, Ramona Stoyer, Alison Nelson, Susan Ferrance, Katie Kenyon, Budug Jones, Inayat Begum, Dolet Hill, Tanisha Afari Akufa, Samantha Drummond, Diana Gabaline, Amy Cannon, Amanda Michaela, Shannon Stanley, Lorraine Cullen, Karen Wheeler, Lisa Fraser, Anaya Jerkowa, an unnamed woman, Mari O'Flynn, Julie Yowell, Antonella Castavalder, Kerry Owen, Sarah Alley, Jennifer Andrews, another unnamed woman, Margaret Una Noon, Sukanthala Francis, Sally Turner, Sumaya Begum, Zara Elena, Wendy Morris, Abby Fisher, Margaret Barnes, Haina Bashir, Samantha Murphy, Madison Wright, Lauren Howe, Becky Rees-Hughes, Mari Doherty, Kathleen John, Helen Barlow, Michaela Taylor, Eleanor O'Brien, Ashley Dale, Karen Dempsey, Wendy Buckney Morgan, Lizzie McCann, Margaret Griffiths, Susan Moore, Katie Hermes Irimia, Jacqueline Forrest, Patricia Bitters, Harleen Kaur Sampreet Gandhi, Holly Thompson, Ruth Stone Houghton, Gillu Nash, Jill Barclay, Diana Dafter, Hilary Round, Angie White, Yolanda Saldana Feliz, Deborah Gumbrell, Caroline Adeula, Keisha Kristen Dulu, Emma Potter, Alexis Karen, Claire Armstrong, Jacqueline Rutter, Lorraine Mills, Fatoumata Haidara, Ruta Draudavilate, Mary Andrews, Michelle Hanson, Maureen Gittow, Cynthia Turner, Anju Asok, Ailish Walsh, Natalie McNally, Sabrina Cooper, Stacey Warnock, Francesca Didio, Courtney Bourne, Elle Edwards, Stephanie Hanson, Gabriella Ruding, Beatrice Corrie, Jacqueline Kerr, Holly Newton, Anne Woodbridge, Emma Patterson, Valentina Cosma, Erica Parsons, Lorna England, Edna Berry, Daryl Buchanan, Eliza Beebe, Sarah Brealey, Sarah Albone, Sandra Giraldo, Charlotte Wilcock, Jane Collinson, and Helen Harrison, whose name had to be written on as I walked into this chamber. Every year, final name. This year, we also remember Brianna Gay, a young woman brutally killed, where a young woman and man have been charged. The youngest on the list was 15-year-old Holly Newton, and the oldest was 92-year-old Anne Woodbridge. I also want to mention Joanna Simpson, who was killed before the tradition of reading this list began. However, her killer, who spent days, if not weeks, digging her grave that he would bury her in, was found not guilty of murder, but instead of manslaughter. Her family are with us today, and I join them in their campaign to stop his release from prison just 13 years after her brutal killing. I also want to mention the women who never get named on this list. These are women who are suffering terrible domestic abuse and sexual violence, like Bianca Thomas, who fell from a tower block window following years of domestic abuse. There are many women who never make it onto this list because no one is ever charged with their killing. Yeah. I have read hundreds of inquest reports and domestic homicide reviews over the years. Everyone pushes for lessons to be learned, tells us next time it will be different. It never is. This week alone, I have spoken to a woman whose perpetrator turned up at her home while on bail for trying to attack her with a weapon. A call to the police left her waiting 7 days for a response. Femicide is currently not mentioned in the domestic abuse strategy. This is not okay. I urge the government to hurry up and release the long overdue sentencing review into domestic homicide. There is no reason why we are still waiting. All these women died in the time that we have been promised this review.
My honourable friend,
I absolutely will.
I thank my honourable friend for giving way, and I thank her for reading that list. It is just as powerful every year, and every year it is a shocking indictment on our society. The list this year included my constituent Fatoumata Haidara. Can I also put on record the names of Fatoumata's 2 daughters, 3-year-old Fatima and 1-year-old Naima, who were also killed in the fire started deliberately at their home, which claimed Fatoumata's life last November.
I thank the honourable lady. Unfortunately, the list, as it currently stands, does not include the children also killed. And in lots of these cases, the famous case that, of course, we all know about in Epsom, there was a child killed in that case. There are many children who are also slain by violent men along with their mothers, and we will never, ever forget them. The families and the Killed Women campaign who join us here today would want me to make clear that lessons are not being learned. Warm words are no longer enough. We honour these women not by reading out their names, not by doing any of the promises that happen in this place. We honour them with deeds, not with words.
Yeah.